we all gotta learn to let go of things. For me, I've had this problem for many years where I find it very difficult to let go of people who wrong me. Examples were about my ex. When we broke up, she thought it was funny to prank call my family and actually directly speak to my mom, claiming that I was at a party womanizing with other women and all this other type of shit. And my mom got infuriated. She's like, this person called the house and spoke to me, and it was some girl claiming that you did all these things. And of course, my mom's smart enough to realize that it's obviously not true, but she was still concerned. And that really, really pissed me off, because I had a feeling that I knew who it was, and it got me really, really pissed off and arrogant. I wanted to take revenge off of her. But I stopped myself, because I realized that is exactly what my ex wants. She wants me to react. She's expecting a reaction from me. And, the best course of action is to just ignore it. And eventually I ignored it, and nothing else happened after that. But this is just a small example of other things that have happened in my life where I was so desperate to take revenge off and find out who wronged me so I can get him back. And in other examples, when I used to work at a hotel, someone thought it was funny to write something on my car, on the windshield of my car, with snow on it. So he used his finger to write, oh, this car is worth $5. Right? So he put the $5 number and then the dollar sign. And he thought it was funny to do that. And then I investigated, tried to find out who this person was that did it. And it ended up being a coworker whom was too afraid to admit it was him that did it, but I knew it was him who did it. And I was so set upon taking revenge off this guy. Even if it's a small little prank like that as a joke, I was still very dead set on getting back at him. And he wasn't the type of person that's like a close friend. He was just a coworker that I knew, so it was even a little bit more disrespectful in that sense. Right? Who are you to touch my car, first of all, and who are you to write something so stupid on my windshield? But then I realized, like, you know what? When I look back at it, it's better to look at it as a joke. Like, my car wasn't damaged. It was just something like a stupid little punk thing that he did. And it was kind of a representation of maybe he's jealous of me, or maybe the fact that he's also expecting a reaction from me. But I didn't give him the benefit of the doubt. So instead, I did not react. I did not try to get back at him with any pranks. I just ignored him. There have been many times in my life, this is what I'm trying to tell you, is that where I was so dead set on getting back at the person that did something to me. But in reality, the times that I did do that, it didn't end up going so well. Because on the other side, that the person that I took revenge upon was extreme in a very... I did it 5 times worse than what he or she did to me. Right? And it just fights fire with fire, and it doesn't solve any problems, and it doesn't give you peace. That's most of all the most important thing. It doesn't give you peace when you are constantly trying to get back at people. The best thing to do, man, is to forgive and forget. It doesn't matter how big the dilemma is for you, what someone did to you. It is always better to just forgive and move on with your life. It's better if you can forget, you can forget it. But for many people, that's very difficult, because of maybe it was some very, very traumatic experience that happened did to you. But is this better to just move on? And this concept can be applied to bullying too. You know, since you were a kid, maybe there's that one kid that always bullied you, and now that you're older, it still affects you, you know, to this day. And you may see this guy around your neighborhood, and maybe you're thinking, you know what, I'm gonna get back at this guy for what he did. You're better off just moving on with your life, man, and just learning a martial art or something to make yourself more confident, and just move on. And bullying can last into adulthood as well, man. Like, you know, you can get bullied by your coworkers, you can get bullied by your, you know, even your own so-called friends. And then you have this urge, this desire to get back at them and respond, fight fire with fire every single time. But it just doesn't give you peace at the end of the day. It makes things worse than it already is. Many of us, we hold grudges in our heart. People that wronged us. Our ex-spouse or our ex-girlfriend or boyfriend did something to us, or our friend betrayed us, or our trust, or somebody just like ruined our reputation, or somebody said something bad about us that wasn't true to somebody else. All of these things, or, you know, we hold on to the past so hard. We hold on to it like it's part of our heart, like it's a bag or like it's a phone. We just hold on to it all the time. But it's time to let it go, man. It's time to let it go so you can move on with your life. You can't live life with a dead set revenge or a grudge. Like, you're not John Wick. You know what I mean? This is not a movie. This is reality. This is not a revenge series. This is reality. And honestly, your peace is the most important thing. You just gotta move on with your life, man. It doesn't matter who wronged you, who humiliated you, who made you feel like shit, who bullied you, who manipulated you, who betrayed your trust, who did all these things to you, man. It sucks. These are really sad things, but in order for you to progress in life, in order for you to enjoy being in the present moment, and to enjoy your future, and to have peace of mind when you sleep, is to forgive and move on. But a lot of us just tend to overcomplicate things, man. We like overcomplicate our lives. We just do because of the past, because of all these people that have wronged us, you know. So then we become this type of person. We may become a very cold-hearted individual. We may become very resentful towards others. We may become resentful towards a certain demographic, towards a certain race, because of how they treated us, or how one or two people from that group treated us. So now we're having a general representation of how they are, which is stereotyping, which isn't good. But this is the problem in today's society, man. People just can't let go of shit. This is why wars are still happening around the world, because no one can just move on and forgive. You know, this is the reality that we're facing today. A lot of the problems can go away if we just are able to forgive each other and just move on. The people who have the most peace, for example, are the people who are able to make peace with their past. Many people cannot make peace with their past, but some can. I have seen videos on YouTube of people who were the victims of their family members being murdered. I know this is a bit of a very deep topic, but I have to talk about it. And some victims of their family members have gone murdered, and they confront the murderer, and they forgive the murderer for what they did. They actually say it to him, "I forgive you for what you did, but I will never forget." They do it not for him, they do it for themselves, so they're able to make peace with the past and move on. You gotta be able to develop the skill of moving on. this, whatever problem, big or small, we have to develop this habit of being able to forgive and move on, man. You know, that coworker wronged you, that coworker made you feel like an idiot in front of everybody, forgive him. That family member who embarrassed you in front of other family members, forgive that person. Move on. Because the majority of the things that we want to take revenge upon are not that large. We just make it seem larger, the problem larger than what it actually is for a majority of the stuff. But we just have this dead set with our ego that we just want to satisfy our ego and make other people seem that we can't be fucked around with by taking revenge on people over the smallest, dumbest things. And when you really do think about it, a lot of the stuff that we have done in the past out of revenge is kind of stupid. I remember in high school, there was a lot of fights in my high school, a lot of fights in my school, right? And if one guy got beat up, I remember this one big fight happened because this guy was talking to someone's girl or whatever, and he got pissed, and he decided to call his cousins and his boys, and then it was just like a chain reaction of everybody just trying to, start a fight. So, all these things start happening and everyone just started joining up, and then people started getting beat up, and then the people that got beat up, they wanted to take revenge off the guy, off the other person. I've seen so many of this, and I'm sure you have too in school, where the people just can't move on. They just can't move on. They want to take revenge. Always want to take revenge. And this habit can last until, as I said, adulthood, man, where you just keep holding on to freaking grudges. This can happen in relationships too. Oh, I remember that promise that you made that you're always gonna give me flowers every Friday? Why didn't you give me flowers last Friday? They're gonna hold on to grudges, man. It's the smallest things, for the smallest things, this can ruin relationships because people hold grudges. Oh, remember that time where you didn't pay for my meal? So today I'm not gonna pay for your meal now. All these types of stupid things. We need to be able to move on, man. I know it's very difficult at times, but we just gotta move on and we got to get rid of this bad habit of constantly holding on to things that don't really aren't significant, that ruin our peace. Our peace is the single most important thing in our lives, that we need to have sense of peace. Whether you have a family of 5 or 6 kids, you have a big family, you need to have peace within yourself as well in order to have a healthy relationship with everybody. You need to make peace with your past too. You gotta make peace with your past. Honestly nowadays, bro, everyone has a past. Everyone has a past. No one is innocent. Everyone has had a bad past. You have to be able to forgive them and move on. Move on with your life. I have seen so many friendships end because of revenge. Or people just constantly reminding each other about the wrongings that they did in the past to each other. And that just ruined the friendships. But anyways, thank you for watching. See you next time.